Recording. All right. Welcome. And we're going to get started. We're going to get started. Indeed. Let me pop this up. Where did I put it? Where did I put it? I put it somewhere in here. Here we go. Okay. Independent living, section 3, the mortgage application process. Welcome, sir. Hello. Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday. Since you said that, I know, buddy.
We have 2 learning targets that we were looking at for this lesson. This is our last Google form. All right, this is our last Google form. After this, we'll have a little project and we're done.
Project.
A little project, yeah.
Project's not a thought.
Be like 5. So here's my.
You're gonna be creating.
Mr. Cranbill and I are still kind of like brainstorming what the project should look like. But we're leaning towards a slideshow. We're leaning towards 5, maybe 6 slides. And the situation is, we went through. We did like 35 learning targets during this year. I sent that list over to Mr. Cranbill of learning targets. You're going to pick 5 of those learning targets, and then you're going to explain. You're going to create a word problem that uses one of those learning targets. And you'll solve that word problem, and then you'll tell us why learning this was important or useful or something new. Yeah, and so it'll be like, oh yes, one of the learning targets was I can compute the monthly cost of paying for a house. Here is a picture of my calculator and going to the finance app, and here's how I computed the monthly cost of the house using my calculator. And there's another picture showing my evidence. And this is useful because I might want to buy a house. And this can be useful to find out what kind of house I can afford. Boom, slide 1 done, right?
It might take you 10 minutes to solve the problem, another 5 minutes to think. So each slide might take about 20 minutes to actually do if you were to put it into perspective. If
Yeah.
you could take 20 minutes, that would be no more than an hour and 40 minutes. So, I mean, if you took your time, it might take you 2 hours.
So we're probably going to give you 5 days to complete 5 slides. So, you know, with 20 minutes a slide, you could probably get them all done in 2 days, in two class periods, if you were working hard there.
What's your grade?
All right. So the first learning target we have is I can compute the monthly cost of paying for a house. The second learning target is I can understand the research that is necessary before I purchase a home. Last time we got together, it was Tuesday, and we went over example 1. All right, we went over example 1. I read all that. And this was our friend, the monthly payment formula. Remember him? All right, the monthly payment formula is right there. You know, it's got all these pieces. And we also learned that, hey, our calculators have an app button. There's an apps button here. Maybe I should pop it up on the one. There's an apps button right here. And if I turn my calculator on, hello, welcome. The apps button, right? I can go into the finance app. I can go to the TVM solver, and as long as I set this up correctly, I got to make sure that my payments per year is 12 and compounded 12 times yearly. As long as I set this thing up, I can find the monthly payment very easily. Like for instance, if the house is $210,000, that's the value of the house, $210,000. It's going to be a 30-year mortgage, and there happens to be 12 months to every year. So 30 times 12, that's 360. Calculator will turn that into 360 for me. And oh, I didn't want the, I take it back. I do not want the interest rate to be $210,000. Ouch. That would be an incredible interest rate. How about an interest rate of 4%? How about an interest rate of 4% instead? And I'll make the present value $210,000. Yes, that sounds to be a much better proposition. And then if I wanted to solve for the payment, I'd go down here, alpha, solve, and there I have it. It'll be about $1,000 per month for a $210,000 house. That's just the mortgage payment. As we'll learn today, there's more to paying for a house than just the mortgage payment, right? This example 1 was how to find the mortgage payment. And we talked about Jada Lease and her house, right? Jada Lease bought this house here in Rochester. If anyone's looking for a house in Rochester, I believe that 274 Winchester Street is for sale. Right now, yeah.
I mean, it's not going to be there forever.
It's not gonna. Yeah, I'm sure it's gonna be sold in a couple months, but right now it's for sale. I went online and just found I was looking for a $100,000 house, and I just found that one. All right. Here's our situation now. let me preface this by saying that this example came from a textbook, and it's all sorts of messed up in several different ways. I didn't realize how messed up it was. Like when I first looked at this, I was like, wait a minute, this is not how we do taxes here in Rochester. This is interesting how they do taxes or wherever this is, but it's not how we do it here. So what I did was instead of doing like the exact same thing, I went to the Rochester City Assessment Bureau's office website. I gave you the link right here. And then I actually looked at like, how does Rochester assess taxes? And we're going to look at that today. But here is just kind of an example of how some people get their taxes assessed. Jessica and Daryl Delaware are looking at a house, and they contacted the tax assessor to find out what property taxes would be. Recall that if you own a home, it's on land, and that land has a value that it could be sold for, and that value is assessed by whatever municipality jurisdiction you're in, and they charge taxes for the value of that land. All right, nearly everywhere there are property taxes. In their town, the tax is based on the square footage and other features of the house. The classified ad describes the house, describing their house is shown below. What is the annual property tax on their house if the town has a tax rate of it says 0.89%, but later they're going to say 89%. So they're going to goof that up. I don't know what's going on there. But I don't know. I don't know how to explain this, but it'll work out. It'll all work out. Don't worry about it. Just trust the ride. All right. All right. This is a classified ad. Things are abbreviated here because back in the day we used to charge per letter on classified ads. No more. The internet has changed this. You can now go on Craigslist and see fully featured ads with pictures and websites and things like that. The internet has changed this. But anyway, this says 2-story colonial. That means that's the style of home. If you don't know what a colonial house is, this is colonial houses. All right, just take a gander. All of these are colonial houses. The idea of a colonial house is you have a first and a second story on top of each other, right?
Just think of it this way. It's like a cereal box. If you cut the cereal box, the bottom is directly below the top floor. And
You know,
have the same amount of, supposed to have the same amount of room.
Yeah.
On top as in the bottom.
there are different styles of houses. Like these are colonials. There's also a thing called a Cape Cod. Let me show you what a Cape Cod house looks like. So these are Cape Cod houses, all right? They have a lot more dormers, it seems, than the colonials. They also seem to have these roofs or these porches out in front. I like those porches. I've always wanted to have a covered porch out in front. A covered porch so you can like drink your coffee and such. I've always wanted a gazebo too for the same kind of reason. And then there are other things like ranches. Ranches are very popular. Let me show you what a ranch house looks like. Right. So yeah, it's a long house, usually 1 story. Sometimes we'll have like a second story that's like kind of a sloped roof, but these are ranches, right? So there's different styles of homes with different names. Good question. I don't know what mine's called, what could be called. It's kind of colonial, kind of Cape Cod, but neither one.
I have a split one. So we have like 4 floors. It seems like you're on 4 is big. Kind of like you got your 3 bedrooms. Middle section. You go downstairs, you go down the stairs, you got 2 more rooms and that.
Yeah, mine looks a lot like a split level.
Mine's like a split.
Mine looks like a split level, but it's not.
Enormous. Mine's like the same kind of size house I grew up in.
Yeah.
4 floors.
All right, where was I?
4 floors sounds like you have a lot of space, you know? Some people have 2-car garages because then you could like park in there. Depends what you do with your house. I mean, you could build onto your house, and that's why colonials or split levels, people like them, because then if you build up, it doesn't cost any more to heat it. But if you do a ranch, and a lot of people, you actually have a ranch house, you're like, I'm saving money, it's less house. No, it costs more money to heat and cool a ranch because that air has to go in all directions. If you do the colonial, you just have the air go on from the basement, it goes up. So everything just goes up. So you're not paying as much. So yeah, ranch costs more. I don't know why. To heat and cool.
So this is a 2-story colonial with 2.5 baths. All right, what's 2.5 bath mean? A full bath is a toilet, a sink, and a tub or a shower. All right, that's a full bath. Right, a half bath is a toilet and a sink. You got it. So this has 2.5 baths. It means it has 2 bathrooms that have the whole 9 yards, right? A toilet, sink, and a tub or shower. But there's one half bath in there, which only has a toilet and a sink. This FRPL, that stands for fireplace. Full basement. A full basement means there's basement underneath everything on the first floor, right? The other thing is, in Rochester, we tend to have basements. In other places in the United States, honestly, they have what's called slab houses. Where the ground doesn't freeze, they can just have their house right on a slab of concrete.
I have a slab house.
Yeah.
I have a floating basement. Floating basement means
A floating slab.
Yeah, means you have like a cutout of your basement and the concrete doesn't go to the edge. If there were to be water and would take on water, it would go that direction into not the foundation, or so you would think. But you don't want a floating slab, you really don't. You want a full basement, or like where it's underneath the whole house, you have more space. That's where people get the man cave, extra space for storage.
Basements are nice where it's cold. You kind of need to have that. You can have a floating slab in this climate. Yeah, basement does give you more space. It gives you the storage space, and it gives you kind of like a root cellar kind of space. But a slab is cheaper, for what it's worth. Full basements are a lot more expensive. Let's see, CAC. I still don't know what CAC is. I'll have to look up that later. 30 by 30 foot deck. That's a really nice deck they've got out on this house. 30 by, that's 900 square foot of deck. This house is on 3/4 of an acre. That's a pretty good, an acre is 200 feet by 200 feet squares, if you kind of imagine what that would be. They have a 600 square foot first floor. Now this is where this whole situation doesn't make sense. Their first floor is 600 square feet. Okay, fine. But then the second floor is 1,500. It's over double the size of the first floor. It's like a mushroom. It's got this huge top and a small bottom. I don't know how that house works. Again, I think the book is messed up here. I think they probably meant a 1,500 square foot first floor and a 600 square foot second floor. That makes sense to me.
TV house makes more sense than a bigger top floor.
Yeah.
Than a smaller bottom. Right.
I mean, we do have mushroom houses here in this area. I mean, in Parrington and stuff, there are mushroom houses.
I know, I like the one.
Yeah. But that's
that explains a lot.
This house has a 20 by 20 foot dormer. Now a dormer, I had to look this up earlier. I mean, I heard it before, but I didn't know exactly what it was. Dormers are, why do I not have my images back up? A dormer is this like window that sticks out of your house, right? It comes out of the roof. It's like a window that comes out of the roof. Oh, now I get why they call this a 20 by 20 foot dormer. This makes sense. This whole thing here is a dormer.
Okay.
So that makes sense. Now I'm like, okay, 20 by 20 dormer. Okay, now I understand why it's like an extra space they've added on or something. You got that in your room, a dormer? Yeah, okay.
Is that for the leprechaun?
They have a 12 by 21 foot garage. Okay, it's a little skinny garage, but that's fine. They have a 16 by 32 foot vinyl pool.
CAC, central air.
Central air conditioning. Thank you, sir. All right, they've got a 16 by 32 foot vinyl pool, which was interesting to me. Most pools are round vinyl pools, but I guess this one's rectangular. They have gas heat, that's HT. It's in excellent condition, and it's selling for $289. That K means thousand. $289,000. Okay. What's the problem here? What are we trying to answer? We're trying to answer this question. What is the annual property tax on their house if the town has a tax rate of 0.89% or will later become 89% by magic? I don't know. Okay, here's the solution. Here's how we kind of solve this problem here. The property tax is based on the assessed value of the house. The Delaware has received a copy of how the assessed values are computed, shown on the right. So this is how the assessed value is computed. Some of the assessed values are based on square footage. Some are flat rates. Compute the assessed value for each part, add all the assessed values to find the total assessed value of the home. So, okay, these are all the rates. So you're gonna get charged per square foot, $3 per square foot for every square foot of first floor that's over a basement. Someone's chatting here. What's the point of that? Can you be more specific, Keyshawn? What's the point of what? What's the point of taxes? What's the point of a dormer? What's the point? What are we? All right, Keyshawn's going to get back to me. He's going to tell me what that is. They're going to get charged $2.25 per square foot of first floor that's over a slab. They're going to be charged $2.25 for every square foot of second floor they have. They're going to be charged $1 per square foot of every garage, $1 per square foot of every dormer, 75 cents per square foot for every square foot of barn they have, 50 cents per square foot for every square foot of deck, 70 cents per square foot of shed, and 75 cents per square foot of vinyl lined pool. Those are the structural rates per square foot. There are also some flat rates we need to consider. They're going to be charged $1,000 per acre of land. They're going to be charged $0 for their first bathroom. Their first bathroom comes free. Oh, that's so nice of the tax man. But every full bathroom after that costs an extra $100 flat rate. Every half bath is an extra $50 flat rate. The fireplace costs an extra $125 per year tax for having a fireplace. A tennis court. I'm okay with the tennis court. I don't have a tennis court. Maybe that's why I'm comfortable with this. But a $375 tax rate for every tennis court you have. I don't know who these people are who think that people have tennis courts in their yards. Maybe this is a Brighton or Pittsford tax rate. I don't know. $125 for every spa, $200 for air conditioning. They're charging people $200 for the privilege of having central air. Yes, sir. No, this is the taxes. The mortgage is something separate. You got to pay both of these, the mortgage and the taxes. Welcome to life. They're going to pay now every year. We'll figure out what the tax rate is per month in a second. Mr. Moody suddenly starting to realize why people complain about taxes.
Well, just look at it this way. I mean, if you actually learn where certain things are higher taxes, friends and family, they literally leave the state we live in, and you find out where you can buy a bigger house for less money.
Yeah.
And you're like, I'm gonna move there. But obviously you can make your money wherever you want to make your money.
For what it's worth, the city of Rochester has actually very, very reasonable property tax rates. I enjoyed living in the city because of the property tax rates. I paid $2,500 a year in the city. Once I moved out of the city, I paid over double that suddenly per year for property taxes, just because I moved out of the city. Yeah. So anyway, here goes. Remember, they had 600, they're back to this thing here, right? They had a 600 square foot first floor, right? And with a full basement. Full basement means all their 600 square feet is above a basement. So 600 square foot times $3 per square foot, 600 times 3, they're going to pay $1,800 per year on the taxes of their first floor. Just on that alone, their first floor. Hold on, we're not done adding all these up yet. Now the second floor. Remember, they had 1,500 square foot of second floor. Again, mushroom house. They're getting charged $2.25 per square foot of second floor. So 1,500 times $2.25, they got to pay $3,375 for their second floor. But wait, we're not done. They have this is adding. Yeah, this is adding. This is all going to add up at the end. They have a 20 by 20 foot dormer, right? That's 400 square foot of dormer. The dormer gets charged at $1 per square foot. So that's $400 taxes on the dormer. The garage is 12 by 21. 12 times 21 is 252. They're getting charged $1 per square foot for garage. So 252 times 1 is 252. Their deck, that beautiful, wonderful deck, which is 30 by 30, that's 900 square foot. 900 square foot being charged 50 cents per square foot is $450 they're getting taxed because they have a deck. Remember that beautiful, wonderful vinyl pool that's 16 by 32? Well, that's 512 feet of vinyl pool they got to pay taxes on. They're paying 75 cents per square foot. Every 12 by 12 gets charged 75 cents here, people. All right, 512 times 75.75 is $384. All right, they're on 3/4 of an acre of land. Remember, land is $1,000 per acre. So they're going to be charged $750 for their 3/4 of an acre. Woo! Their first bathroom was free. Tax man was really nice, gave you one bathroom for free. But every bathroom after that costs money. So there's $100 for the one bathroom beyond the first, and there's $50 for that half bath. That's an extra $150 for those extra bathrooms. $125 extra for their fireplace, $200 extra for their air conditioning, and they're paying $700 for their gas heat. Now, maybe you get away with electric heat in this case. I would switch to electric heat. If I was paying $700 a year for gas heat, I'd be switching to electric fast. But that's what it is, people. $700 for gas heat. Let's add all these up. And Mr. Moody's like, oh my God, he's running the dollar signs through his head. 1,800 plus all this other nonsense is $8,586. They're paying $8,586 per year for taxes, not the mortgage, just for the taxes. Let's calculate this out. What is their per monthly cost? Let's calculate the per monthly cost here. Before we get too upset, $8,586. All right, that's per year. So we divide this into by 12 to figure out how much is this per month. That's still $715.50 a month. 750. Now, before you feel too bad for Mr. and Mrs. Delaware here, Jessica and Daryl, let's not feel too bad for them. They're buying a house which is over $250,000. So it sounds like they got it like that. All right, but that's still an awfully hefty price to pay. $8,000, $8,500. I would not want to be in that situation myself. Okay. And so now we found out the assessed value. And again, now the book's going to change its mind and say instead of 0.89, it's now 89%. So now they're going to take this 0.89, they're going to multiply it by 8,586, and they're going to find that the property tax in the house is $7,641.54. All right, that's how much Jessica and Daryl are going to pay per year. And when I saw this situation, I only went over that because I'm sure this is how it happens somewhere else in the United States. Somewhere else in the United States, this must be how they do it. That's not how we do it in Rochester, so that's what we're going to look at next. Because we don't care how they do it in Delaware. All right, here. I don't know. That's their last name. Their last name is Mr. and Mrs. Delaware. So I don't know what state what's going on there, but okay. Rochester, we have a different way of calculating property taxes from the example above. Jada Lees, remember Jada Lees? She bought that wonderful home on Winchester Street for $120,000. It's a single family residential property. What would Jada Lee's tax rate be for city property taxes? Go ahead and click on this link. If you'll be so kind, click on that link and you'll get a much better view. My image is nice, but the website from the city is nicer in terms of looking at it. You're looking for the rate. How much does the city charge people for taxes? So you're just looking on this website. Let me give you a minute to kind of look. You're looking for a city tax rate. Keyshawn, did you ever clarify to us what the what the point of that is? You said, what's the point of that? But I still don't know what that is. Oh, the dormer thing. Oh yeah, okay. The point of a dormer. You know, it kind of like, so good question. I don't know how to explain this. So you build the first floor, right? And the reason why people build a second floor on there is kind of like what Mr. K said. You've already built the walls and the foundation below it. So it's cheaper to build up than it is to build long. Because if you build it long, like a ranch, you've got to put a roof over all that house. If you build up, you only have to build a roof one time to cover 2 times as much house. If you build 3 stories up, it's still one roof for 3 stories. So you get a lot more space in a tighter package as you build up. But also you're trying to save money. You don't want, you're trying to save money. So what this dormer allows you to do, it allows you to not have to build up as high to save you money. But the problem with not building up as high to save money is that now all of a sudden you get a situation where your second floor has like a roof-like shape to it, right? You get a situation where there's not much space again between the floor and the walls over here, and then like there's a peak to the roof. So what people do is they build the dormers to kind of spread out a little bit to give that room a little bit more space. They make that dormer, it gives you a nice window and allows you to spread out when that roof is kind of pushing in on you. I have a situation where my second floor kind of goes in on the sides, so towards the edges of my walls, between the space between the floor and the ceiling are only a couple feet high. That's the dormer thing, I think.
There's so much more space than people know. There's some states that are like Montana, it's like wide open. Like in like other parts of the country, it might be cold as spit in like South and North Dakota. Same thing in Texas. People are like, oh, I don't want to move to Texas, it's too damn hot. But if you've ever driven through Texas, there is so so many farms, but so much land, they could keep on building for years and years in Texas and never have as many houses as you would assume
No.
to be in Texas. It's ridiculous
No.
out there. But, I mean, to drive through the state, I drove just the top part of the state. I entered the top part at 12 noon. And then it took me just the top portion, the little small part, 7 hours
Wow.
to go through the top. And my brother lives on the opposite side in New Mexico. Like, and then when I left his house to go towards Austin, I left at like 10 in the morning. I didn't, 10, 9 in the morning.
Texas is
It took me
big.
like 7 or 8 hours just to get to the middle part. And then you had another 7. It takes like 15 plus hours to get through Texas from the top to the bottom.
All right.
So yeah, it's a huge state.
So I'm going to share my screen again. Hopefully you've had a chance to look this website over. If you are looking at the tax rate for the city is right here, 6.42, right? And then the important thing is in here, it's right 6.42, but you have to say per $1,000 of value. So let me go back to my my Google Doc here, right? All right, there's my Google Doc. I want to put $6.42, $6.42 per 1,000, per $1,000. All right. That's the tax, that's the city tax rate here in Rochester, New York. All right, the next question is going to ask you, what is this tax rate for school property taxes? So you look at that website again, find the school property taxes. I think you got this. Stop sharing, I'll give you like a minute. Probably take less than a minute, actually. You're looking for school property taxes now on that website or on that image. You can look at, the image is okay, but I mean, the website has better resolution. You find it? All right. So I'm going, it says, I'm looking for school property taxes. I'm going to the website. School property taxes right here, school, $11.15. It says 15.2, right? Per 1,000. So $11.15 and 2/10 of a cent. All right. Does it say school twice? Oh, so we want, I'm sorry. Yeah, I should clarify that. Jada Lease, hers is a single family household. And if you read this website, there are 2 different tax rates. One is a homestead rate. That's for 1, 2, or 3 family residential properties. That's what Jada Lease has. And there are non-homestead rates. This is for businesses, for restaurants, for industrial areas, these kind of things. So we're going to be using the homestead rates, people, just so you know. All right, so here is the school taxes. The school taxes was $11.15 and some change. And again, I have to put down, very important, per 1,000. Per $1,000 of value of the house. All right.
Well, if they have to restructure or ask us to pay more or less or whatever, big corporations better start paying fair share.
Indeed, indeed. Unfortunately, they're really good at getting tax exemptions, really good at it.
I don't know, I mean, we're not business.
They contribute to political campaigns is how.
I'm not even disagreeing with that.
They have more clout than we do.
Assuming that's it.
They have more clout than we do.
Exactly, yes. Yeah, it's who you know. and
Well, it's because they have some leverage. Their leverage is we bring in tax revenue into the area. If you make us leave, then you'll lose tax revenue.
That's another thing.
If we move out, you're out.
That's-
You're out money. You don't want us to leave.
Here, let me throw
So that's
this
how they
at you
negotiate.
guys. You nailed it. But Amazon was giving New York City the opportunity
Yeah.
to move to New York City. And they would contribute to revenue and all this
Yeah.
stuff to the actual city. And some of the politicians down there said, no, we don't want, like,
Well, that's because Amazon wanted all sorts of tax breaks.
yeah.
And they were like, we're not going to give you tax breaks. And Amazon's like, well, we're not coming then.
Exactly.
Well,
But
they-
that's the thing though, I mean, the grease, but I mean, then, here's the.
They
only
didn't want to pay
adverse-
their fair share.
Yeah, but here's the only adverse thing.
Yeah.
And you were killing people in the area because they would have gotten good.
Then there was less jobs in the area. That is the downside.
That's the only downside.
But you don't want to create an unfair tax structure. And by giving all these exemptions away, you're creating an unfair tax structure
Absolutely. Absolutely.
where the big guys don't pay as much taxes as people trying to work a living. All right. So what's her county property taxes here? Again, I won't look at the website this time. This time I'll try to look at it with the image. You can kind of see this. Her county, where is it? County homestead rate. There's city, there's school, there's county. And now the county does something weird too. It's $11.09. And look how many decimal places they take this out to. They take this out to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 places. I was wrong. It wasn't 8 places, it's 6 places. But still, that's crazy. But that's what it is. That's what it is. So to answer this, it's 11.092962. So let me just see if I can remember that long enough. 11 point, I've already forgotten it. 0929, no, I can't. I know there was a 6 in there. I gotta go back and look at 092962. Okay, 092962. All right, there we go. Per 1,000. That's important. That per 1,000.
That per 1,000 is. How much you paid per 1,000.
I'll show you how to calculate this in the end. First of all, what I'm doing right now is like a treasure hunt. I'm having you hunt for the rates. I'm having you hunt for the rates right now, just so you know how to read this website. Because that's the hard part, is how do you read this website? How do you find the rates? Then after we find the rates, we'll start calculating the bills, okay? All right, what would the tax rate be for her Pure Waters property taxes? Again, I'm having you hunt a little bit. I'm having you scan. I want your brain to get familiar with how they look at things. Do you see it? The Pure Waters.
Yeah, let me try to see that.
It's easier. It is easier to see if you go to the city website. So the link is right there in the Google form. You see it? It says Pure Waters base right here. Pure Waters. It's $1.34. So it's $1.34 per 1,000. Again, that's important. Just having your brain hunt. And so what's happening here is your brain is getting familiar with how this website looks so you can find the rates. And then once you get familiar with how it's working, then we can start calculating. Okay. What would be her combined property tax rates be for city, school, county, and Pure Water? So we need a combined property tax rate. This next one. I'm going to give them a minute to look at it. Maybe you can see the word combined there somewhere. What's that? I still can't hear you. That's the county and Pure Waters combined. 247. 247 is the Pure Waters use per 1,000 gallons. That's how much they charge you for the water. Do you see something where they combine the two numbers together? 30, you got it now, right? So here's what's going on here. Here's city and school combined. Here's county and Pure Waters combined. When you take 17.57 and add 12.43, you get $30. So really they're charging you $30 per 1,000. That's like the total. Yeah. Let me kind of show you how this works. 17.572 plus 12.43. I'm going to take it out 29 and stop. I add those together. I get the 30.
So it's like $30.
$30, basically $30 per $1,000 of value. So if you had a $1,000 house, never going to happen. But if you had a $1,000 house for say, you would get charged a total property tax bill of $30 if your house was $1,000. If your house was $10,000, your property tax bill will be $300. It was a $1,000 house. I'm sorry, a $10,000 house. If your house now is $100,000, $100,000. Now this is very reasonable. $100,000 in a house in the city, that's a pretty nice house. You'll get charged $3,000 for taxes per year. That's not bad. That's not bad. All right. So no, you take the value of the house, divide that by 1,000 to find the per $1,000 rate, and then multiply it by the rate you're getting charged. So we'll do that in a second. Yeah. Mr. K wants to calculate his taxes, what it would be in the city. He's already getting mad. He's getting overtaxed.
Probably.
Okay, so the combined rate was 30% per 1,000. So $30. I'm not going to get all the decimals in there. You put the decimals in there per 1,000. There's more to this number than that. That was like, I forget what the decimals were, but there was more to it. Put that, whatever that was in there. It's going to be 30.004962. Let's see, 004962. Yeah, there you go. That's the actual combined rate. And here we go. Our first step, here's our first calculation. How much will J. DeLeese be charged for each year for road plowing, street cleaning, sidewalk plowing, and sidewalk repair? If she has 30 feet of road frontage. She has 30 feet of road frontage. How much is she going to pay for road plowing, street cleaning, sidewalk plowing, and sidewalk repair? Let me give you a minute. I'm going to stop sharing. I want you to just kind of scan this document, looking for the rate. What you already got it?
I don't trust you.
I got to think of that. It doesn't sound unreasonable. It sounds like a pretty reasonable.
$589 a year or a month.
Oh, 589 is the rate. You found the rate. Now you want to find out what she's actually getting charged.
So 5.89 is great.
Yep.
That comes about 12, right?
So take 5.89, multiply it by 30, because she's got 30 feet of road frontage.
Why do we get older? 176.
There you go. That's how much she'll get charged.
Working out is
All right, so let me go back and share my screen. Going back and sharing my screen. Okay, so here it is. On the city website, it's right. It's called embellishments. Embellishments. Rochester's embellishment rates, right? Per front foot. She has 30 feet of road frontage. She's going to pay these various rates. She's going to pay $2.85 per foot for road plowing, a certain amount for street cleaning, sidewalk plowing, sidewalk repair. They fortunately combined it all. Jamar found this very quickly, $5.89. $5.89 times 30 feet of road frontage. And this is how much she'll get charged for her embellishments. $176.70. So that's how much she'll be charged for these embellishments. I won't put that down in the Google form. You can do that. That's that question right there, the embellishments. How much will she be charged for refuse and recycling? Refuse and recycling. Refuse and recycling. All right, go ahead.
It's going to be really hot tomorrow.
It's gonna be warmer, 10 degrees warmer than today.
Shut the windows. Shut the windows.
Shouldn't you leave them open overnight and let the room cool and then shut them?
It's gonna rain in the morning, right?
That's gonna be, I don't know.
I'm gonna shut. Just think of it this way. Next week, okay, everyone's gonna be home. I'm gonna tell you both something because you're gonna want to do it Monday and Tuesday. See all the windows like shut and the blinds. Keep your windows and your blinds shut during the day. Otherwise, you're just inviting heat in. I had to show my wife. I mean, you can look at it. I mean, scientifically, they'll say when's the best time to open up your windows? When it's dark, nighttime. Let cool air come in and let the hot air leave. And then people were asking me earlier, they were like, well, how do you blow when people have windows open and they blow the fan? It's like, well, you turn the fan and you blow it out.
Yeah.
You blow the hot air out. You don't blow the fan in because then.
All right. So she's got a one-family house. She's in a one-family house. She's the only person living there. So it's a flat rate of $391. That's how much she's going to pay for garbage and recycling. Just to have the garbage and recycling people come by, it's $391 per year. All right, we're almost done. We're almost done. That was the refuse and recycling. Now we need to figure out what is the total tax bill that J. DeLeese will pay, which includes all of her property taxes and property fees, plus the refuse and recycling, plus the embellishments. Here we go. Here we go. It's $120,000. That's $120,000 is how much her house is worth. That is the assessed value, right? Right there's the assessed value, $120,000. We're gonna, all these rates, all this property tax rate, we're all per $1,000, right? It always says per 1,000, rate per 1,000 of value. So we're gonna divide by 1,000 right now. Divide that by 1,000, because it's, see, she has 120 groups of $1,000 in her home. That makes sense to you, right? She has 120 groups of $1,000 in valued in her home. She's going to get charged. Remember, that's that total tax rate, 30.004962. So I take that 120 times that tax rate, 30.004962.
Actually, that's pretty dang close to, tax rate in the city versus, 3,000.
3,660 cents. Yeah, that's what, well, hold on. It's not, we're not quite done. It's our first calculation. Now we got to add up. How much did she get charged for the embellishments? What was that again? 157 something?
156.
156? What is it?
Take up 5.89 times by,
Anyone gonna help me out?
5.89 times.
What was the sidewalk repair and all that cost?
176.
176. Was there any change on that?
27.
Okay, 176.27. That's the embellishments that we found. 0.7. 70 cents? All right, 0.7. Okay. And then we're going to add that flat rate for the refuse and recycling. That's 391 plus 391. And then we'll get a total. So $4,168. $4,168 is what Jay DeLeese will pay for her house in the city. Now per month, that's the yearly rate. Per month, she should save, if we divide that by 12, $347. Now, that ain't nothing to sneeze at, I suppose, but you know, it's better than the $700 per month that the other couple were paying. $347. You know, you tack that right onto your mortgage. Just look at that. You just take that tax bill and you just add it on to what you're looking for your mortgage. So if you're looking to pay, you know, $700 or $900 for a mortgage, you know, you're looking for a house that's actually going to be $700 for the mortgage, and then have an extra $200 for the taxes. You know,
Do you escrow or no?
we don't, but we have in the past. So what Mr. K is saying is like, do you have your mortgage set up so that your taxes get automatically paid in escrow? You know, you can set that up, and that way your taxes become part of your mortgage payment. You can have that set up that way. It is nice to do it that way because then your taxes are set up as a nice monthly payment. It's just part of your monthly payment. You don't have to worry about it. Whereas me, every 6 months, I get a letter from the county and that tells me how much I owe them. And usually it's a couple $1,000s. You know, I got to pay it all. And, you know, I got to go drive down to the town office and then just pay all my tax bills twice a year.
Sometimes it's good, but then if taxes go up and you see it, you're like, oh my God, my tax bill just went up. Like me, my mortgage will go up or down based on the tax.
Right,
Like,
right.
That's not fair.
Yeah, okay.
I'd rather just have the mortgage flat
Oh, you'd rather have the mortgage flat, okay.
and then the taxes go up or down, and then you can figure out like the breakdown.
Yeah,
This whole thing.
right. So that's taxes in Rochester, people. I'm going to stop the recording. You can wish us a happy Thursday. I'm sorry I took up all your time today. That was a pretty full class. Hopefully then it'll be shorter in the future.
How much,
Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday, Keyshawn.
you finished?
Thing you did last week?